Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another broadcasting, another recording of Let's Talk About It. Today, we are having our Father's Day edition of Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Helen Artis-Armstrong, and we want to bring you a subject matter that needs to be addressed. So let's talk about it. Today, again, is Father's Day 2022. And it is a blessing to see all the many, many dads that are celebrating on today. So many have gone on, such as mine. He's not here for me to celebrate him. But nevertheless, happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Our subject matter for today is erectile dysfunction. You might say, what? Yeah, you heard me right. Erectile dysfunction. So we just want to talk about it briefly, just stopping by to bring you some enlightenment concerning it. And the meaning of erectile dysfunction is a result of increased blood flow to the penis, or rather decreased blood flow from the penis or to the penis. Let me read that again. An erection is an increase in blood flow to the penis. Erectile dysfunction is when there's a decrease in blood flow to the penis. That blood flow is what's going to cause the penis to become erect. And when there's a dysfunction, that means that it's not becoming erect like it should in order for that male to prepare for sexual intercourse. This has become a big issue for a lot of men, increasingly so over the years, as there are more and more people that are dealing with different health problems. I talked to a gentleman not long ago who said to me, I'm 55 years old and I can't have the intimacy that I desire with my female friend because I'm on so many different medications, and those medications are stopping me from being able to perform. It's causing erectile dysfunction. And so we find out that medications can be a culprit. There's a lot of reasons why a male will suffer erectile dysfunction. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But over the lifetime of a male, about 52% of the men will experience erectile dysfunction. They will have that time when they are attempting to engage in intimacy, into intercourse with their mate, their wife, and it just won't happen. They won't have that ability to perform because the penis won't get hard. And that is really traumatizing to a lot of men. A lot of men. And it could happen to a male as early as age 20, but mostly it's going to happen between the age of 40, right on up to 70, even beyond that most of the time. But it can happen to a very young man. So you say, well, what are some of the causes of erectile dysfunction? Alcohol drinking, smoking, using drugs. Using drugs is a big one. A lot of people say, no, when I use drugs, my penis is going to get hard and it's going to stay hard. Yeah, it is now, but there'll come a time when it will cause the opposite. And it may be that for a long period of time. High blood pressure can be a cause because you're talking about, again, the blood flow. You're talking about, again, that functioning part of your body not getting the blood flow that it needs to be able to do what it needs to do. Kidney disease, being overweight. Overweight is a big one. Whenever you're overweight, there's so many things that can be going on inside the body. But erectile dysfunction is one of them. Because of the extra weight that's on your body, a lot of times you're going to experience a decrease in blood flow. It's going to slow itself down because of the amount of weight that male is carrying. And so it can result in erectile dysfunction. Type 2 diabetes is a big one as well. Same scenario. And the the sad part about it is some of the medications that a male will take for things like high blood pressure or type 2 diabetes is going to also have a side effect where erectile dysfunction is going to take place. And so these are things that you have to look out for. Um, Sometimes it can be just performance anxiety, the pressure to perform from someone, or the person that you're with. It could be that is causing the dysfunction to come and be a part of it. Just being pressured in that moment to perform could be a new relationship, could be a estranged relationship, could be some issues in the relationship. And so now you have performance anxiety. I knew of a person that said that her and her husband were trying to have a child, and her husband developed performance anxiety thinking about, you know, being, I guess you could say, failing at the task of getting her pregnant and then being able to get a child. It's all kinds of things that can cause erectile dysfunction, kidney disease, injuries. Sometimes a male may sustain an injury in that area or somewhere else in the body. It could be a spinal injury that is going to cause them to have that erectile dysfunction. Emotional issues. Sometimes they're going through such hardships. I knew another male that said to me, or he was talking with me, but the problem that he was suffering with at that moment was his sister had died, and he was not able to be intimate with his partner as a result of the emotional distress that he was going through. So many different causes. She said, well, all these causes, what is the solution? We all have heard, those of us that are adults, about the little blue pill. Okay. That's one solution. But before you even go to medication, things like exercise, things like eating more healthy foods. And we talk about these things in a lot of different case scenarios, but it is true and it is real that it will be a help to that person. Eating better, exercising, um, you know, that in extreme cases, there has been times when the male had to undergo surgery, especially in cases when injury was the problem, when injury was why the dysfunction had occurred. Um, Lifestyle changes such as staying away from the smoking habits, the drug habits, staying away from, you know, things like um, the alcohol drinking, staying up all night, abusing these different substances. Those lifestyle changes could be need to change the relationship. That sounds like a big one, but it could be. Especially if that person is constantly getting pressured to perform. That may not be a healthy relationship. It could be toxic and it could be time for a change. I'm not telling you to leave your mate. I'm not telling you that your relationship with your mate is not going to work out. I'm saying simply begin to think about it and process that information within yourself and talk to your partner and see, is that something that needs to be addressed. Um, a wife can help her husband by encouraging him when he's going through that situation, encouraging him with her words, encouraging him with her touch. You'd be surprised just by your touch what can begin to happen. It's something about that stimulation of touch when you reach out and put your hand on a male. Having your spouse or your significant other to do that thing, just a simple touch. It could be a touch on your back. I'm not even talking about touching the private parts, but that human interaction, that touch from, that female, that person that's in your life. It could stimulate, and it could be that you need that touch in those private places, and it could stimulate. Absolutely. I believe it works. Matter of fact, I know it does because I've heard testimonials. Discuss medical issues, with your spouse or your significant other, with your doctor, even. Because those medical issues are going to be one of the main culprits. There's so many issues that could be taking place, happening in the body medically, that could cause you to have dysfunction. Kidney disease, and we talked about diabetes, heart disease, and all of those things. It all plays a part. And so in the United States, the number one person that is affected, the number one male that is affected is the white male. But the black male comes right in at number two, affected by erectile dysfunction. Hispanics are number three. And ironically, or not really ironically, but just noteworthy information that the United States is not the leader of erectile dysfunction in this world. There are other countries, two or three other countries actually, that are have the higher rate of this dysfunction than the United States of America. So it exists. It's part of it. And one of the things that really stuck out and was amazing to me is that I've talked about in times past the DSM-5, which is like the book for all medical disorders. Erectile dysfunction is listed. It is listed as a mental disorder. Why do you ask? Because it can be damaging mentally to any male that is going through this. And if that's you, I want to encourage you right now to reach out to your doctor if it has gotten to that point. If there's something to say it happened once, but if it's happening multiple times, reach out to your doctor. Talk to somebody about it. You might need to even go to counseling. I am a counselor, and I must say I have cases. I have men that come in, and that's what they need to talk about. That's what they're going through because it's really real to them, and it could be so damaging where that person will begin to be feeling challenged mentally because of what they're going through. So reach out, get that help. Ultimately, I said pray. I am not ashamed to tell you that I am a praying person, and I believe in the power of prayer. I throw on you again. I've said it many times in these broadcasts that one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is Luke 1:37. For with God, nothing shall be impossible. Pray about it, because ultimately that person is going through erectile dysfunction. They could develop an attitude where they are beginning to be mean spirited. They could begin to try to lash out by way of being inappropriate in their touch to other people, where they are interacting with, you know, things that they shouldn't be interacting with, such as um, becoming someone that is trying to be promiscuous with people that don't want to be engaging in sex with them, where they can be inappropriate because they're going through this mentally, and they become disturbed. They become disturbed, and it is disturbing. We could talk about some of the pedophiles that have been accused of looking at these children and looking at, them inappropriately. That the statistics say that a large portion of them have erectile dysfunction. Even if they could get their hands on that child, they couldn't do anything that they wanted to do. They become disturbed. We could talk about some of these men that have assaulted women, some of those that are beating them, some of them that are, being that person that's assaulting their wives even, and their girlfriends and significant others, because they're angry. They've gotten mad because of erectile dysfunction. Some of them just mean spirited. Some of them just acting out in all kinds of ugly ways because of erectile dysfunction. They're just mad at themselves, mad at the world, mad at everything around them. There was another gentleman that told me about a time he went to the doctor, and the doctor says he needed to be on diabetes medication. And so he had not been taking it. And so the doctor asked him specifically, why won't you take this medicine? He said, because it's messing with my libido, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So then he became that person that was jeopardizing his health, because he did not want to be in that place where he was not able to perform sexually. That's serious. But that's what's being dealt with. Again, that's what some of these men are dealing with. And if that's you, again, reach out to your medical doctor. Ask about interventions. Ask about solutions. Talk to somebody. Don't try to pretend like it's not happening to you, where you become that mean-spirited person and begin to lash out and hurt other people around you, because there is help for you. And it may just be you might need to get that little blue pill. And I've heard these days there's so many other supplements that are out there, especially in the health food store. Research it, Google it, talk to the doctor, get some help. Again, it's a hard and a tough subject, but it was a needful subject. So happy Father's Day. I hope that each every one of you that are able to hear this on today will get some help and be encouraged. If you want to reach out to us, feel free to do so. We are at KBO Ministries at yahoo.com. You can reach us by way of email or respond to this YouTube clip. Again, that's KBO Ministries at yahoo.com. And we're glad that you were able to stop by for a little while. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your life. And know that it is not over just because you are dealing with this issue. There is help for you. All right. Y'all have a blessed one.